Hey everyone, today I'm going to go over how to set up a Siemens TEC controller. This applies specifically to the Siemens 550-497PA, but will apply more generally to most of their terminal equipment controllers that are BACnet. If you receive a new old stock one of these and need to program it, you cannot use the BACnet port yet. You have to configure it because it ships with a MAC address of 255, so it will not communicate on the network without that being set, and so we have to program it. So the way we do this is relatively simple. You're going to need an RS-232 adapter. I have this RS-485 adapter connected just so that once we have BACnet we can see it, but we actually need to connect to the RTS port over here, which is a phone jack, and in a moment I'll share the pin out of that. And then we need an RS-232 adapter. So the device needs to be powered up and need to be connected to the RTS port with an RS-232 adapter. So let me hop over to the computer, I'll show you the pin out, and I'll show you how to configure it. Okay, so once you have the controller connected and you're making up the pinout for the RS-232 to RJ11 jack, you'll probably need to make up a custom cable. You can buy it. There is a part number for it. You can find that on HVAC Talk forum. But basically, you're going to take a 9-pin DB9 or a DB9 connector and connect it to an RJ11. On the DB9 pin, it's terminal 3 goes to wire 5 on the RJ11. 2 goes to 6. 5 goes to 1. And 5 goes to 2. I think 5 to 1 is redundant. I don't think you need that. I think that's a secondary ground because it's 2 ground pins and then a transmit and receive line. And the RJ11 is looking at so if the brass pins are facing you and the tab is away from you on top, then pin 1 is to the left and pin 6 is to the right. So you'll have to make yourself up a cable or buy one. They're about $100 on eBay. Or Radwell or wherever, but I'd say just make one because it's not that difficult. Now, once you have power connected and the device connected, I have heard there are ways to use TerraTerm or PuTTY or HyperTerminal to do this without the SIS software. If I figure out what the commands are down the road, I will make a video showing that, but currently we use the Siemens program called WCIS, which you'll have to get a copy of. If you ask around, it's fairly easy to get somebody to send you a copy. But once you have that, so you'll need the controller powered up, the controller, and then the RS-232 adapter plugged in, and all that. You'll have to open up, download the WCIS program. I'm using 4P1P1. And then it'll be a folder. Inside that folder, there is this called WCIS. Now you'll open this up. It'll give you a note. You can ignore the note about BACnet messages. Now, inside this tool, we're going to have to select our COM port. So we're going to go here. We're going to go, if you go to your computer, right-click on this computer and click Manage. Alright, yeah, so if you open up a browser, right-click on this PC and select Manage, you will open up your device manager over here, and if you go under ports, you can find COM ports. I'm using this one, the prolific USB to serial COM port, which is COM9. So under this TEC, we are connected via the RTS port. So I'm going to right-click on this, and I'm going to go Connection Settings, and we're going to make sure that COM9 is selected. It already is because I did this earlier today. But once that's done, we're going to right-click and we're going to connect. And now you see it said auto baud rate there. It went kind of fast, but that's because it started communicating at 1200 baud. It will automatically scan through all the common baud rates in order, and so you don't need to type in anything for that. It'll just scan through them. In this case, it was 1200 baud, 8 and 1, so 8 bits, no parity, 1 stop bit, I believe. So now that we've connected, you can see that the settings go through. Now, there's a couple things to check. Controller address, when this controller is new, will be set to 255. So if you right-click on controller address and click Set Point, type in your address here, click OK. Then you'll have an address. So then you'll be able to communicate on the trunk. The next thing you need to do, though, is if you see over here, there's going to be an instance number, and I think this is also outside of range from the factory. But you also have the baud rate of your network. So we're going to go into device up here at the top. We're going to go into device properties. And then here, under instance number, you can change your instance number, and you can change your baud rate. If you need to, you can do your max master, the baud rate of your MMI port if you need to change it, all of those type of settings. Once you've updated these the way you want, click write. It will write that information. You can also change your application to match your existing application. And then you could change any of these parameters, but once you have those set up, you can do it over BACnet. So once you have done all that, you've changed all that, at that point you should start to see the transmit and receive lights turn on the TEC controller. And once you've configured all that, you should be able to open up and go into Yabe and COM8, and if we add it, boom, device 14. Give it a second, and we should get all the information. There we go. So then we can go in here, check analog output 2, which is application type, make sure that it's 6667, which is what I need, and so we're good. So that is how to configure a Siemens TEC for the first time using their software. If I find out how to do it without their software, I will let you guys know, but currently I struggled with that all yesterday and I couldn't get it working. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a good day.